as we start seated. So it might be nice to just grab a block and pop that underneath and to come into a seated position. As usual, please do move around so you come into some comfort within this seated pose. Shuffling a bit, moving through the shoulders and the sit bones. And maybe beginning with closing the eyes. If that's not possible, just look at a solid spot instead. Allowing yourself to arrive on the inside of yourself rather than the outside, which is also what this social media and all this reaching out into internet and our fake connection that we sometimes have. So knowing that not all of this is bad either, and sometimes even quite useful. So is it useful to face that sits within us? Allowing yourself to arrive in this space, to connect to the sensations you're feeling. To maybe acknowledge how perfect we are in our imperfection. Connecting with the breath. Part of prana, our life force. Maybe slightly deepening the breath already, if that feels good. And I would love to have a play with a Garuda today. Garuda or the eagle. To begin this play with, we're starting to use Eagle Mudra. So I'd invite you to take a deep breath in and to spread your wings out, to reach your arms out wide. And then placing the left hand in front of the lower abdomen. Putting the right hand on top and sliding the thumbs to hook up. The fingers will start to slightly face upwards as we keep the mudra low for now. Fingers are spread out, shoulders relaxed. I would ask you to draw on the energy and that you can feel within this hand position. And to take 3 deep breaths in and out of your nose, while just holding the mudra against the lower abdomen. When you, after these 3 breaths, inhale again, spread your wings out once more, open into the arms and fingers. Left hand will always be the one that touches first this time, over the navel. Right hand goes on top once more, hooking the thumbs up, spreading out through your fingers. And as you're holding the mudra here again, hold for 3 breaths, just feeling what's there without knowing any of the purpose of this mudra, just connecting with it. You completed your 3 breaths. We'll repeat once again. Breathing in to spread your wings out, to reach into arms and fingers. And once more, the left hand comes now towards the upper abdomen, right hand on top. We're hooking the thumbs up, fingers are spreading, shoulders relaxed, and holding here for 3 breaths. And then simply relaxing the hands down into the lap and continue deep, full breathing. Full yogi or ujjayi breath, your choice. As we know, the eagle is a bird of prey, and for that reason has a very nice view on the world. Can see things from a distance. It's also got a very sharp eyesight. For us physically, this mudra increases blood flow, circulation in general, invigorates the organs, and balances the energies of both sides of the body. So it's a nice stimulation to work with it, and a beautiful one, especially in the morning. We'll use this mudra and, of course, the posture a few times throughout the practice. But before we do so, let's inhale and reach the arms upwards, maybe lifting the gaze. And as you're breathing out, bring the hands to the heart and just turning gently to one side. We'll repeat that to the other, inhaling, lifting the arms, maybe your gaze. And breathing out to twist. Inhaling, reaching up again. We will change the twist as we take the arms now out to shoulder height into a twist. Inhaling, lifting the arms again. And exhaling, twisting in the other direction. Inhaling, lifting the arms. We will deepen the twist a little bit more as we take a hold of the knee, the hand or fingertips go behind. We might look a little bit further. Inhaling, reach the arms up, and we'll repeat that to the other side, breathing out as we come to twist. Let's inhale again, reaching the arms up. And this time, if you like, you can take the back of the hand against the knee and wrap your arm behind as we increase our range of movement. Inhaling, lifting again, and repeating to the other side as you're breathing out. Inhale, reach the arms up once more. While you're breathing out, now lean over one knee, releasing even the head down as you're relaxing. A slight tuck in of the chin, creating some space in the back of the neck. And then press down into the hand that's closer to the center and inhale to open into a really deep twist, reaching back with the rear hand. And as you're breathing out, lower back over your knee. Walking the hands now up towards the body. Breathe in, lift your arms up, reach your gaze up. And as you're exhaling, turn towards the other knee and fold over it. Releasing down, maybe even that light chin tuck in to create length in the back of the neck. And the hand that's closer to the center will be on the floor. As you breathe in, reach the other one back. Maybe follow it with the gaze, go deep into a twist. And then release it back down over the knee. Walking the hands back up into a tall seated position. Releasing maybe your support out from underneath you. Moving the legs backwards. If you're still wearing socks like myself, might be a good time to take them off. And coming onto hands and knees. Have your knees at about hip distance apart and the hands to shoulder distance. We will begin to just wag our tail. So let's move the pelvis a little bit from side to side. This movement might start very gentle and just in the pelvis, and you could get a sense of letting that flow or dance a little. Movement might become a bit bigger over time, and you could start to look over to the side that you're moving towards. Arms can be soft and bouncy and flowing along. So we're getting some movement now into the whole spine, just side to side for now. And then let's breathe in, lift the tail, the gaze, elbows are bent. And when you're breathing out, push into the ground, straighten your arms and deeply around your back. Let's do that again. Bend your elbows, inhale, lift your tail and gaze. And then push down, straighten the arms and round the back. Once again, breathing in to open your front and breathing out to round into the back. Then let's release that into neutral. Elbows can be soft rather than locked. And as you're next inhaling, lifting the left leg back. Bring length in and strength into the remaining hands and knee on the floor. And when you're breathing out, draw the nose and the knee together underneath the body. Inhaling, extending, and there's a chance to also lift the gaze. And as you're breathing out, round it back in. One more, breathing in and breathing out, and then extending the leg again as you're inhaling, and then swing it across towards the right, looking at the foot and pausing there. So we're getting some length into the left side of the body. Gaze is down, and with that there's a squeeze into the right side of the body. Let's slide the leg back. Keeping the tops of the feet on the ground, begin to press down into the hands. And if that works for you, otherwise keep the knee down. Lengthen the right leg true for a pointed plank. Then let's lower the knees down onto the ground and continue down towards the floor. We'll start with the hands out wide again, so fingertips on the ground just beside your mat. And when you're breathing in, create a wave in the upper body, arriving in a wide-armed cobra, allowing openness to come into the chest, maybe lightly into the throat, the gaze just gently lifted. And then release down onto the mat. Take your hands by the sides of your ribcage. Push down into the floor when inhaling and slide the knees up a little as you're breathing out for an extended child's pose. We'll ask you to pause here to allow the elbows to soften down towards the floor and actively beginning to rotate the shoulders outwards and open. So you're creating more space in the very upper back and maybe also between the shoulder blades. With this little action also, the shoulders are moving a bit away from your ears. Feel into the space that you've created there. Here's an opportunity to hold this space. As you inhale to come up onto your hands and knees, remind yourself of that space as you tuck the toes under and lift the knees up for a downward facing dog. Pause just for a moment before you might add some movement and feel into this space between the ears and shoulders, the space in the upper back. And you could then start to pedal out into your legs, maintaining this upper body spaciousness and strength that comes along with that. Then let's inhale, round the spine forward into a full plank. Knees down to the mat, untuck your toes and settle yourself back into an all-four stance. I invite you here to release a little bit through the wrists by turning your hands inwards. So the fingers are pointing towards the knees. And some of you will be fortunate enough to be able to bend the elbows a bit. My arms don't seem to be built for that. See how your arms are built? Otherwise, it's just enough to stretch into the wrists by leaning the hips a little bit backwards. Doesn't have to be much. Then release the stretch and place the fingers facing forward again, keeping the shoulder distance and that lovely space in the upper back. On your next breath in now, let's extend the right leg back. Keep the hips in balance if you can. And then breathing out, draw nose and knee together underneath your body. Inhaling to extend and maybe lifting the gaze. And breathing out to round. Go for one more, breathing in. And exhaling to curling. Let's lengthen again on the in-breath. And as you're breathing out, swing the leg across to the left, land it to the ground, and look down to your left foot. Inquire into the space on the right side of the body and the sensation of the squeeze on the left side of the body. Sliding your foot back in alignment. Either keeping the knee or knees down or sliding the left foot back, returning to the pointed plank. Be strong in the arms, in the core to hold and support. And on the next out-breath, lower down onto the mat. Your choice of wide-armed or normal cobra. Breathing in to wave up into it and exhale to relax into it. Hold it here, couple more breaths. You completed those breaths, releasing again onto the mat. Hands near your lower ribs. Inhaling, arriving on all fours. And exhaling, step the knees in for an extended child's pose. Now I will invite your attention back into the area of your shoulders. To let the shoulders roll open, to allow softness in the arms. The forearms could even rest. Just feeling into the space. This is an area where a lot of us currently hold tension. One of the benefits of eagle pose and eagle arms is the release into this area. But the awareness might help us here as well. Let's inhale and arrive on all fours again. Tuck the toes under and lift it up to down dog. Again, please maintain that space in your upper back. Find a steady down dog now. Your gaze lightly down towards the ground. Breathing in to lift your left leg up into the air. And as you're breathing out, bring the knee to the nose. Inhaling, keep the hips in balance as you extend. And exhaling, bring it back in. Just so one more time, inhaling to extend. And as you're breathing out now, stepping the foot forward between the hands. Lower the right knee down, untuck the toes, and then curl yourself up to stand on the knee. Let's open the arms out wide like we did into wings. Let your left arm come underneath the right, either to embrace the shoulders now or to find your full eagle arms. Relaxing the shoulders down. Elbows beginning to move a little bit up and forward and hopefully feeling the space created. Now I would love you to center your pelvis so the left hip is pulling slightly back. And once you've done so, you might choose to lean a little bit forward into more of an Anjaneyasana style. So the hips are moving forward, upper body stays tall. Then let's spread the wings again. Breathe in, lift your arms out, lengthen into the front leg, flex the foot, And as you're breathing out, moving forward. So your hands might land on either side of this front leg. I would love you to try a different foot position today. So let the foot relax a little bit. Keep the sole of the foot off the floor and start to push forward into the base of your big toe. And at the same time, pulling the other toes back. And notice how this feels. So we're pressing out through the base of the big toe and the other toes are pulling back. Just notice the difference here as you lower your nose down towards the knee. You're not too sure what that difference is. Try to point the foot, try to flex it fully, and then try that variation again. Allowing 2 more breaths. Before I'd ask you to step the left foot back onto the ground, tuck the right toes under to lift the knee, come to your fingertips, and then step the foot forward. A breath in as we're lengthening the spine for a half lift, and breathing out to fold. Allowing yourself now to place your fingertips onto a block or the floor. Leaving the head relaxed, keeping the forward bend, but trying to lift the heels off the ground. Drawing the lower abdomen in and see if you can bend that little bit further. Now here, the ears and the shoulders are quite close with each other. Then lower the heels back down, even shift the weight into the heels and lift all your toes off the floor. Then lean the weight forward again. Keep your gaze between the knees, lift the heels off the ground, draw the lower abdomen in. And then let's rock back onto the heels, lifting the toes. We'll do that one more time. So come forward with your weight, lift the heels off the ground, draw the lower abdomen in. Then lower the heels, lifting the toes. Now let's feel how it is when the whole feet are grounded. Getting active through the 3 corners of the feet. That is the center of the heel, inner outer side of the ball of the foot. Allow your knees to be soft and activate your lower belly when you're breathing out, rolling up into standing. Breathing in, spread your wings out wide. Left hand under the navel, right hand on top, bend your knees a little bit, hook the thumbs up. Steady gaze point or eyes closed. Knees are just out of the lock, soft so the pelvis is centered. Stay here, breathe. 3 deep, full breaths. Breathe in then, let your wings fly out wide. You might even straighten through the legs. And then again, the left hand is close as we place it over the navels, knees soften again, thumbs hooking up, fingers are spread, shoulders relaxed. 3 breaths here. Eyes closed or gaze steady. When you completed your breaths, fly the arms out wide again for a last time as we bring the left hand now in front of the upper abdomen, right thumb hooks across, shoulders relaxed, knees soft so the pelvis is in balance, and 3 breaths here. As you breathe in, lift your wings again, open. And as you're breathing out, bring the hands to touch and fold. Inhaling for a half lift. And exhaling to step back into a downward facing dog. Let's breathe in to lift the right leg. Mind the positioning of your pelvis that's in balance. And as you're breathing out, bring the knee to the chest. Inhaling, extending again. Exhaling, knee to the chest. One more. Breathe in to extend. And breathe out now to step the foot forward. To lower the back knee down towards the ground. To take your time and curl yourself up. Then breathe in and open through the arms and wings. This time it's the right arm that comes underneath. Either you can hug your shoulders or you come back to the eagle arms. Let the shoulders relax at first. And then bring the elbows a tiny bit forward and upwards, feeling into the space that we're creating here. Rest there becomes more optional as you draw the right hip back to meet your left. You could lean a little bit forward into the hips, creating some space there in the left thigh, pelvic area. Keep yourself tall, proud, steady gaze like an eagle. When you next breathe in, lift your wings again, draw the sole of the foot off the floor, extending through the front leg. And while you're breathing out, folding over it. Hands can lower onto the block or the floor, the nose points towards the knee. And then let's play again with the foot. So, of course, could you try what it feels like to point or flex? What I would ask you to experiment with is to bring the base of your big toe forward while you keep drawing back the other 4 toes. There is a distinct feeling that then happens throughout the leg. And if you're not sure what you're feeling for, just play again with the pointing and the flexing of the foot, and then press again the base of the big toe forward and draw the others back. Allow yourself to be with that, shoulders soft in the forward fold, and breathe. We will change position again as you land the foot back on the ground. Tuck the back toes under and lift the knee. And then step the foot to the front, inhaling, half lift there. And breathing out to fold. Allow the head to be heavy and get your feet a little bit further apart. Now, if you're in the perfect yoga body, you can keep your toes pointing forward for a squat. If you've got a moderate body, turn the toes outwards like I am doing. And allow your hips to sink. Now your knees are a bit tired or achy. Stay with the hips as high as you need to. Place your elbows against the inside of the knees. Create a prayer position and lengthen the spine. You can do so high and you can do so low, all the way into Malasana if that's your choice. Keeping the length in the spine, elbows to the insides of your knees. Put a smile onto your lips and take a breath. When you're next exhaling, bring the hands down, turn the toes forward, legs can stay wide in a forward fold as you're breathing out. Now I'd ask you to play with the two. So you could turn your feet each time that you come into your squat. We're taking a breath in there for lengthen the spine. And the breath out here is the standing forward bend. It doesn't matter how far your feet are apart or whether you keep them straight or turn them in. Flow a little bit between these two. Breathing in for lengthen the spine. Breathing out for forward fold. Going for just 2 more. Your squat or malasana on the in-breath. The forward bend on the out-breath. One more, breathing in. And out to remain in your forward fold. You can heel and toe the feet to a more comfortable or shorter distance, engaging the lower belly and working with the out breath as you're rising into standing. Releasing the shoulders down as we arrive at the top end of our mat. Let's breathe in, lift the arms like wings and lift the left foot. And as you're breathing out, use fists of fire and step back into a lunge. On a breath in, straighten through the legs and reach your arms up. We'll keep using the fists of fire for a moment as we bring them in, bending the knees. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, pulling in. Go for 2 more. Finding the connection between the sky and the earth. And then holding in this last one. Spreading your wings out as you're breathing in. And once more, the left hand comes in. You could take that in front of your heart now and hook the right thumb on top. Spread your wings out, that's your fingers. Allow the hands to face your heart. Bring a deeper bend into your back knee and encourage the right hip slightly back again for balance in the hips. And maybe you're noticing some more balance in the body in total. Now breathe in, open your wings again. And breathing out to bring the hands to the ground. Step it back, downward facing dog. Breath in, roll the spine forward, coming into a plank or its kneeling version. And a breath out to lower down onto the mat. I will take you into a swings pose. To go there, slide the forearms onto the ground, elbows are bent, they're out towards the sides, and the thumbs are in line with your eyes. Tops of the feet are on the floor, we're activating through them already. Slight activation into the glutes, and as you breathe in, create a wave, push into the hands, and plant your elbows down underneath your shoulders for the swings pose. Now, usually when you're waving up rather than pushing off the ground, your core is already switched on. If you miss that, gently engage the lower abdomen. Keep the glutes slightly switched on and your legs engaged. I invite you now to slide your forearms over to the left-hand side and hold here for a breath or 2. Feeling once more into space created here in the right side of the body. And of course, we will change sides, walking the forearms across to the other side, holding here for a breath or 2 and feeling into the space on the other side. Then walking the forearms back into the center, allowing the elbows to spread out as you release down, and will naturally land in a crocodile position. Good, excuse to touch the big toes together. Let the heels roll out and remain here for 3 full yogic or ujjayi breaths. Observing and creating space in the sides of the body and the back. I invite you from there to slide the hands back by the sides of the rib cage. To move onto all fours as you're breathing in, to tuck the toes under, and as you're breathing out, stretch the hips up and back for a puppy pose. Now check back in with the positioning of the shoulders. Here the arms are quite active, other than in the child's pose where we relax them. But see if you can bring the same space into upper back, shoulders, and the space between shoulders and ears. And then maintaining this space and just lifting the knees off the floor. Please always feel welcome to keep knees grounded if this is where your practice is today. So no obligation there. Then start to walk the feet towards the top end of your mat. A breath in there for a half lift. Breathing out to fold. Let's bend the knees a fair bit. Swing the arm back as you're breathing in and push into the floor, rising up. And as you're breathing out, come into a chair pose. Let's pause in the chair pose. I invite you to turn the hands to face downwards, to hook the thumbs up and to spread your fingers. So arms could be maybe at shoulder height, higher if you're able to. Then as you next inhale, release the hands, lifting the right knee up. And in slow motion, fists of fire, stepping the foot back into a lunge. Inhale, extend your legs and reach your arms up high. Breath out, bend both of your knees, pull the elbows in, fists. Few more like this. Inhaling, extending. Both legs could straighten here and then bending again as you lower. So inhaling, legs long, arms reaching up. And exhale to pull in. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Let's open through the arms as you're breathing in. Keep the left hand close and you can cross the Eagle Mudra once more over the heart space. Keep your wings spread out. Keep the hands in a very slight distance away from the body and get that sense of pulling on the thumbs a bit more. Drawing the left head back as you balance your pelvis and a bend into the right knee. Let's breathe in and open the arms again. Breath out, bring the hands down, stepping back, downward facing dog. Here's a chance for a vinyasa if you choose. Moving forward into plank or kneeling plank as you're inhaling. Exhaling to lower down towards the ground. Inhaling to find a cobra or an upward facing dog. And let your out breath, when you're ready, guide you back into puppy or downward facing dog. Walking your feet forward and between your hands. Half lift at the top here. And out breath to fold. Bend your knees deeply, swing your arms back. Push into the ground as you're rising up, breathing in. Exhaling for chair pose. Relax the shoulders once more. Now as you turn the palms downwards, we're hooking the thumbs up in a different way. It's not quite Eagle Mudra, but we've got a similar spread into the feathers or the fingers. Keep your core lightly on and maybe sit your chair a little bit lower. On a breath in, release the mudra. On a breath out, twist your chair to the side. Inhaling, reaching forward. Exhaling, twist your chair to the other side. Inhaling, reach the arms forward. Exhaling, circle your arms behind. Now hook the thumbs up here. Spread your fingers. So we're getting an openness into the chest. As you inhale, lift your left knee. We're still in that chair shape. And as you're breathing out, stepping the foot back. Lower the whole foot down to the ground. Keep your fingers spread out, the body lightly leaning forward. Then release your wings and your heel comes off the ground. Take a breath in, stretching the arms up tall. Use the fists of fire as you're breathing out to lower. Inhale to spread your wings out. And find Garuda Mudra at the heart as you're hooking your thumbs up again. Center your pelvis. Breathing in to create your wings again. Breathing out to bring the hands to the ground and step the foot back for down dog. Feel free to add a vinyasa. Please move it slowly if you do, or use this time to breathe and rest. Your choice. Stay connected with all that you notice, whether you're resting or you're flowing. On the next breath in, lifting your left leg. On a breath out, stepping the left foot forward, grounding the right foot onto the ground. Keep your body low and bring your hands behind your back. Interlace the hands there. Lengthen the arms down the spine and stretch the spine forward. And when you're breathing out, turn this into a humble warrior. In the humble warrior, we're standing grounded through both of the feet. Arms might be away from the back, head is low, and the left shoulder is aiming for the inside of the left knee. So these are directions, not where to place the body really. Then release the hands down. Lift the back heel as you bring your pelvis into balance. And when breathing out, folding forward. Inhale, swing your arms back, push into the ground and rising to stand. Exhaling, thumbs hook up straight away, palms facing down, chair pose. Leave the shoulders in their sockets, but get that gentle pull on the thumbs. Maybe taking your chair a bit lower. As we all have preferences, and I didn't tell you which side to turn to, let's choose the other one. Breathe in as you're extending, release the mudra and twist the chair. Inhaling, reaching forward. Exhaling and twisting the chair. Inhaling, reaching forward. And as we're lifting now the right knee, bringing the fists in as we're stepping back into a lunge. Take a breath in and reach the arms all the way up. And we're breathing out to bring the fists in once more. Now spread your wings when inhaling. Find Garuda Mudra in front of your chest when exhaling. Centering the pelvis out. And we will release that, we will change that. We will bring the arms all the way behind. Hooking the thumbs up and spreading out through the fingers. Finding the length here. As we release the fingers to the ground, step it back to downward dog. Add a flow if you like, and keep that slow again, mindful with your breathing, or use this time to rest. Body's hopefully feeling nicely warm through. One more deep breath in your down dog, all four. Then lifting the right leg, breath in. Breath out, bring the foot forward, lower the back heel. As you reach your arms behind your back and interlace, change to the odd interlace. Lengthen the arms down your back and stretch your spine halfway forward. And when you're breathing out, come to humble warrior. Right shoulder now pointing in the direction of the inside of the knee. Arms might be away from the back, and you could even make the head heavy and relax through the neck. Then release the hands down. Lift the back heel, center yourself, and step the foot to the front. Half lift on the in-breath. Exhaling to bend. Swing the arms back as you're bending your knees, and then push all the way up into standing. Have a little sigh and relax the arms. We will finish our standing sequence with the classical eagle pose. You can choose today to do it all the way classical, or instead have Garuda Mudra in front of your chest. So we will start by standing on one foot, your preference. Let's lift the wings out as you lift the knee. Crossing the leg over. Now, if you're using the mudra, it's the left hand coming close. Otherwise, it's the arm underneath and winding up. So I don't know which side you've chosen. Just remember which arm feels underneath right now. Lifting through the elbows again away from the chest if you're choosing the full eagle posture. Engage a bit in that case into arms and legs. If you could bring them closer. Then lift again. Lift wings and knee. And landing down on the feet and releasing the arms. Let's do the same to the other side. Breathe in, lift wings and knee. Cross the leg over. If you're using the mudra again, the left hand is close. Otherwise, we're changing the arm underneath, relaxing the shoulders down, lifting the elbows just a little bit up and away while keeping shoulders in their sockets. And as you're steadying the gaze, you might choose to press arms against each other and do the same with the legs. Engaging that little bit more into the energy lines, helping and aiding the mudra to get better circulation. As you release that, breathe in, lift your wings, your knee, and land it again as you're breathing out. Move the shoulders a little bit, maybe walk a bit forward and back on your mat. I will invite you down onto the floor now. So making your way down to sit and already grabbing everything that you might need for relaxation. We're almost there. Let your legs come out wide. If you choose to sit on a cushion, a block, or rolled up mat, that might be lovely. Flexing the feet so the toes are shining up towards the ceiling. And we're having a bit of a play here with the forward fold. Let's use the wings of the eagle as we're breathing in. And when breathing out, just folding over the one leg. Lengthen the spine forward on the next in-breath and deepen the bend on the out-breath. Do so for one more breath here. Then lift your body and your wings when you're inhaling. And we're repeating that to the other side as you're breathing out, folding over. Lengthen forward with the crown of the head on your in-breath and deepen on the out-breath. Repeating, breathing in and exhaling. Let's fly the wings back up when breathing in and open your heart space. And as you're breathing out, just leaning forward all together, landing the hands on the outsides of your legs. Inhaling, lengthen the top of the head forward. Breathing out to bend a little bit more and stay there for yet another breath. I will ask you to take a hold of your lower legs or your feet and then take the legs with you into a bend. This is the time for even more playfulness, as you might grab the outer edges of your feet and lift them off the floor. As we're pulling in here, the knees might open in a balancing butterfly position. And you could, from there, extend the legs. Does that mean they have to be straight? Not at all. Be playful. If you're falling back, you can stay there. Relax the shoulders down into their sockets. Take a deeper breath now. And then tuck your chin and round your back, bend your knees and lower to the floor. You could here extend the legs again. And I encourage you to keep them wide. Either keep a hold of your feet or hold somewhere onto the legs instead. You might then have a play with pointing and flexing of the feet and noticing how that feels in your legs. And you could then kind of point the feet in a more relaxed way and try what we did in the half Hanumanasana and press out through the base of your big toe while pulling your toes back and just noticing how the legs engage through that. Keep the legs engaged, release your hands from them, guide them together, and then give both knees a hug into the chest. Relaxing the shoulders down, and then stepping the feet to the floor as you're already releasing your arms, unless you need little things to help you in Shavasana, a cushioning underneath the knees, underneath the head, a warm blanket, or things like that. I invite you into the stillness that is Shavasana. Connecting to the flow of breath now. The ego, as the animal, stands for vision, freedom, authority, and inspiration. Eagles fly higher than any other bird and embody the essence of a great thunderbird, even today. They're known as a sacred messenger from heaven and the eye of the sun. Eagle brings the gift of expanded perception and celestial power, carrying prayers to the Creator and returning with a vision for the path ahead. The Celts also honored eagle as an ally to water, with her unique ability to see into the depths with great clarity from above. Seen by many as the chief of all winged ones, eagle's daily habits share deep connection with each of the elements of air, water, earth, fire, and wood. Maybe choosing to draw on any of its qualities: vision, freedom, authority, or inspiration. Maybe even all of them. Setting that as an intention, maybe for the rest of your day. Allowing your breaths to deepen the body, to move very gently. Before you find your way into a seated position, if you do want to stay in your relaxation, there's nothing that speaks against it. You might join me in the mind. I invite you one last time to reach out your wings and to bring the left hand closer and the right hand on top to create one last eagle mudra. As we keep the thumbs hooked up, the hands are slightly away from the body, the fingers spread out, and you can place this mudra where you feel it is most required. Holding it there, eyes steady or closed. The mantra for this mudra might be, I am inwardly free. I get what is due to me, and I live in harmony with this world. You could choose to hold the mudra or bring the hands into Anjali mudra, a prayer position, as we touch that to the heart. A light bow of the head forward to acknowledge and connect to each other. Namaste.